Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today we're going to get a match between Day 9 and G5 here on Colosseum. Top right-hand corner is the Red Zerg player Day 9. You may know him from other places. And in the bottom right is the American Protoss player G5. Okay, so Day 9 is American as well. But yeah, got a request for a Day 9 replay to be cast by Dead Infested Terran, and I was like, okay, I don't think I've ever cast Day 9, so here we go. You may know him today as somebody who just does, you know, card games like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone, but he was hugely influential to me back in the mid-2000s and late 2000s for his Day 9 dailies, where he examined Brood War and StarCraft 2, and StarCraft 2 came out, and man, he is such a good dude. I like him very much. And I'm pretty sure this is Day 9 because he went to USC. This is a USC tag, and Tasteless is his brother. And if you don't know who Day 9 is, yeah, Tasteless is his brother, part of Tastosis, the most famous StarCraft casting duo in English. And anyway, we'll see how good Day 9 was back in the day. He won WCG 2007, I think it was. He won it. He won World Cyber Gaming for StarCraft 2 in 2007. Like, everybody in the whole world, he won that thing. So, great job to him. He is a fantastic player, great personality, like one of my favorite people on Earth that I've never met. I really don't have anybody I'd like to meet in person, but when I think about it, I kind of would be okay meeting Day 9. I don't know. Like, that's the kind of person that he is. And even though I'm disappointed that he kind of stopped doing StarCraft content, I can't be too mad at him, because he's Day 9. He's just a good dude. Anyway, enough fawning over Day 9 here. G5, really fantastic Protoss player, too. APM is pretty consistently high. He does show up in these replays over and over. Really fantastic dude. Should be able to give Day 9 all that he can handle here, and should be pretty fantastic. So going to go ahead and go for a Hatch second play here. He's got 6 Lings on the way, which is what the Forge Fast Expand is for. And should be, yeah, 2 cannons is going to be able to hold this many Lings, no problem. This is a weird thing to wall off, so I like the 2 cannons. Normally 2 cannons is kind of overkill, but if you're on a different map, 1 would be enough, and then maybe a gateway, and then maybe some probes covering the other end of it. Would be good, but this is a pretty quick, cool first play here. The probe does manage to scout and see these dudes, and oh, they're staying home. All right, so this puts G5 on a higher, just a better position to win this game already. Just because these Lings were made, they're not drones. The drone count is not as good as it otherwise could be here for Day 9, but he's trying to make up for it. We're taking a third base here on the high ground here, too. So he is going for a quick third base to make up for the fact that he went for a pull first. That is not going to get anything done. Oh, and G5 is going to cannon rush this sucker. Oh, the Ling's going to see it. This Zergling coming up to check. Is he going to check? No, Day 9, you got to check behind your mineral line, guy. Oh, and he is! And there's the cancel on the pylon. Very nicely done. Day 9, such a technically sound player. And it really, you could see his understanding of the game in situations like that, right? It's like, okay, going for a quick third base. What could kill me? Well, I'm good to get cannon rushed on one of my bases. That would be really bad and set me behind. So let's scout it. Let's check it. We've got Lings. We don't have to send drones over and lose mining time. Let's do that. So he does and shuts it down. And G5 is like, curses, foiled again by scouting. So he's going to expand himself. And we're pretty much, again, I think G5 is ahead at this point. But once this base pops, is this going to be like a sub 4-minute third? That's pretty good. That's pretty good out of Day 9. Really enjoying that. By the way, if you're looking to get better at Brood War, looking at somebody to cover the basics, the Day 9 dailies that he did back in the mid-2000s are an amazing resource. There have been no balance patches since then. So anything he talks about is totally the same today. Dead Infested Terran himself can tell you he's a much better Brood War player now than he was before he started watching Day 9 dailies with Day 9. So, I mean, he is interesting to watch. He's a nice dude. He doesn't make it boring. He has really great insights into StarCraft. Just overall, really can recommend it. So the Lings are coming on down. Again, 2 cannons. I mean, if you run by, maybe one of these Lings gets through. He's going to try it, though. This is, oh, he got so close to committing to that. So close to committing to that. But did not. Alright, so what's that? Cybercore on the way, which means there's going to be no Dragoons for quite some time. So yeah, Day 9 can just go ahead and macro up forever at this point. He's got a lair on the way. He's going to be basically on even tech here. Probably ahead on tech. compared to what G5 is doing. But I like that Tasteless is observing. That's kind of nice. And Lazy Gamer's here too. Was this an official match? Pull back to the Cannon Zealot. He does. I'm trying to figure out what this was from. It was from April 4th, 2009 is when this was played. I don't know. I don't know that Day 9 was competing in anything seriously in 2009. Maybe he was. Somebody who knows more about Day 9's StarCraft history should probably be able to tell me. But macro hatch up here too. Loving that. The Lings are just containing. Might as well use them for something. But this is 2 fully saturated bases for the Protoss, which is scary except for the fact that the 3rd base is pretty much getting saturated for Day 9 right now. So he's up, man. 36 to 36 total supply is not a good place for the Protoss to be. At the highest levels of pros, what we see consistently over and over is that the Protoss player is up on the Zerg. Even if it's Jaedong, even if the best Zerg player of all time is involved, he's not up in worker count, or overall supply rather, compared to the Protoss until the 10, 11, 12 minute mark. So the fact that Day 9 is even or up right now is bad for G5. But he's allowed to get this 3rd base up so fast. And usually what happens is we get a big old charge lot attack coming into the 3rd, which is part of it. Also some Corsairs on the way. Additional gateways there, and is not charge, but speed rather on the way, and it is. I hope you guys forgive me for calling speed charge, because I know it's not charge, but it's the StarCraft 2 equivalent, and there's just so many similarities between StarCraft 2 and Brood War in upgrade names and unit names. It's hard to keep it straight sometimes, but I think I've done better on that over the last few weeks and months. I hope so, anyway. Anywho, we got Lings and Hydras out for Day 9. Feels pretty aggressive to me. Is he going for... He's not going for a lurker aspect yet, but he does have a Spire on the way, and he's going for additional upgrades. Sunken here at the... I guess we'll call that the natural and call this the 3rd. Yeah, he's going to lose another Overlord, it looks like, unless the Hydras can respond in time, and should be able to, as again, it takes like 45 hits. 41 hits maybe for a Corsair to kill an Overlord. Get out of there, Corsair, and the Corsair does flee accordingly. That is one thing that I think separates the pros from the lower level players, is knowing when to retreat. A lot of the time you're like, I have my army and they're here, let's go. Even if it's a bad situation for you, right? What you see most often in the lower level, in the higher level games rather, is you poke in and then you pull back, and you poke in and you pull back, and maybe there's a counterattack that pulls back, and there's way more pulling back. DT is out, by the way, at the higher levels than in the lower levels, just because caution is a virtue in StarCraft. If you don't think you're going to win a fight, don't engage. If you're being attacked, sure, you have to defend it. I get that. But if you're on the offensive, feel free to pull back. There's no shame in it, right? No shame in running if it can help you do better next time around. That's another macro hatch. I'm kind of loving this from Day 9. Oh, DT. All of the Hydras in the world snipe it down, which is bad news bear. Storm is also coming in, though, and Storm is what you need versus Hydras. If there is a mass Hydra play coming from Zerg and you don't have Storm, you're just going to die. So at this point, G5 recognizes the threat. He's going for Psionic Storm. He's working on an observatory, so we can see any lurkers that might show up, but there aren't any. It's 5 Mutalisks, so a Muta Hydra play. Again, this is a 2009 replay, so not quite current meta, which is one of the things that is different from the Day 9 dailies, is meta has changed. Despite the fact there have been no balance changes since 2001, I think, the meta has changed in the last 10 or 15 years. So stuff that you saw going on in 2003 is not the same stuff that's going on in 2019, just the nature of the game. So Scout's in with the Overlord, sees what he's dealing with. This is just Day 9. He's so methodical. It's like, all right, I think I can handle this. I get to hear him talking about this too. Watch so many Day 9 dailies in the day. But, yeah, so the Hydra high ground going after this gateway. There's really not much that can stop this except for this one High Templar that does have the energy for Storm, but just barely has that energy for Storm. Probes are actually getting pulled to try to hold here. What is this? Oh, he's trying to transfer him up. I was going to say, why are you trying to hold? That is so many Mutalisks, though. Oh, my gosh. I don't know how G5 handles this. Does he have enough Corsairs to do this? Some beautiful... Oh, the High Templars are getting sniped. One Storm goes off, but it just got the Observer more than anything else right now. Oh, these Mutas are going after the probe line. This is so bad. This is so incredibly bad for G5. Look at 4th base is on the way from Day 9 in the top left here, too. Did he stop making Corsairs after the 1? I gotta say, he probably did. And this is hurting him. You usually don't see mass Mutalisk against Protoss because they have the ability to make Corsairs in pretty big numbers. This control is so good out of Day 9 right now. He stopped all mining of minerals at the natural base. He's up 100 to 71 supply. This does not bode well for G5 in any sense. So many probes have died. So many cannons have been killed or canceled. This muta count is kind of insane for the stage of the game. You usually don't see this many mutas cruising around just because the threat of Corsairs is usually so big. But Day 9 scouted, saw there wasn't a big Corsair group, and said, you know what? We're going to go Mutalisks. And what allowed this to happen was getting that third base up so fast. G-Dive 5 was not able to punish it. He thought about trying, but he couldn't pull it off with the cannons. And now Day 9 is hugely ahead. Hugely ahead in this game. I mean, he's even got upgrades. +1 missile attack is here for the Hydras. No upgrades for the Mutalisks, but actually no upgrades there either. So never mind. Are these dropper lords? Are we going to unload here? I mean, if the mutas would... There we go. That cannon count is enough to keep mutas away from that. But the Hydras... Ooh, there is a High Templar in here, though. Pull back. Pull back to the cannons. It's going to be a Hydra Beautiful Storm. Hydra Muta attack against Cannon Zealots and Storm here. That High Templar doesn't have energy for anything. He does get sniped off as well. 91 to 61 total supply now in favor of USC's Day 9. I love that he has the tag. He did graduate from USC in 2011. Good Storm there. And I mean, as we've seen, even the highest levels of Zergs cannot Storm dodge to the level where they don't take any damage from Storm. It's impossible. You're going to take damage from Storm. That's enough Hydras. How many cannons are there? 7 of them? It's not a good ratio for the Hydralisks. I don't like it, but he's got tons more reinforcements coming down because he's been allowed to sit back and macro up so hard throughout this game. So hard. Good Storms, though, whittling down that Hydra count, weakening others. That gateway has been getting chomped on for a while now, and it's finally going to go down. And by that I mean, now, there we go. We got it. I love the explosion animation in Remastered. Hydra's going for it. They had got their reinforcements they wanted for target firing cannons down one at a time. That's how you got to do it. I don't know about Archons. I don't know if you want to make Archon if your opponent's going this many Hydralisks as the Archon dies. Pretty much instantly. Speedlot's much better. Much better there. Storm left. Does get a Storm off and is going to survive too. Thanks to the Zealot friends. Nice. Nice control there. Keeping that Templar alive. Nice job with the Zealots. Taking care of all those Hydralisks. Day 9 is still up because he's still macroing like a beast. Making 7 more Mutalisks in addition to all the Hydras and Lings that he has. And some Scourge in the mix too in case some mean old Corsairs show up. But the production tab says no. G5 is not interested in making any Corsairs at all. I am kind of surprised by this. All right, man. So how do you plan on dealing with Mutalisks without Corsairs is the question. Kind of like this, though. This little Zealot speed attack across the top left side. +1 attack on these guys and speed. These Hydras are not enough. He just leaves 2 Zealots behind to deal with them. No big deal. And then moves into this mineral line. And these drones are in a lot of trouble. The Mutalisks can try to help, but the drones need to run. Mutalisks kill Zealots, yes, but pretty slowly when all things are said and done. As we can see here, the Zealots are not dying. Still not dead. Still not dead. There we go. A couple of them go down, and the rest of the units show up to try to save the day, but that was nice. That was well played by G5, moving across the map. Did any drones survive that attack? I don't think they did. I think all the drones in the top left died, unless these are a couple that ran really far away and came back around, which I guess maybe some of them did retreat super far away. So not all the drones went down, but a lot of them got massacred there. I'm loving the vision that Day 9 has, just kind of circling G5. Doesn't have to try to kill him now. It's a 3-basing Protoss, but if you're on 4 to 5 bases, you can handle it. Right, Queen's Nest coming in too, which indicates some Hive Tech. Maybe even Queens, which we don't see all that much, but I don't know. G5 up now. Here we go. 111 and 114. This is a more comfortable position. Oh, yeah, Storms for the Protoss to be in. Is this supply difference at 14 minutes. So G5, after that attack, has managed to really swing into a position where he has a much better chance of winning this game, I gotta say. +2 is done for his ground units, which attack upgrades for Protoss is so good. Always get attack upgrades for your Protoss. Yeah, these Lings are trying to handle these Zealots. No, not gonna happen. 1-1 Lings versus 2 attack Zealots with speed. It's not gonna happen. That's a lot of Hydras, but the Zealots are taking the charge and taking the challenge, but they all end up dead because that's way too many Hydralisks with their +2 attack. Yeah, again, Hydras will trade well against Speedlots. If the upgrades are much better and the numbers are much better too, but equal cost, I gotta say, Zealots can handle that situation pretty well. That High Templar is gonna die to these 2 Mutalisks. Dude, save him, Dragoons. Save your High Templar. He can storm more later. All right, not gonna do it. How about this guy? Is he gonna be saved? High Templar are so slow. They're so slow. Zealot coming in, trying to shut down this attempt at a 4th base on the left side by G5, but no. Says a small group of Protoss. Loving that, but guess who's coming down this way? Is that another High Templar that's going to die? No. Oh, he saved himself with a storm. What a boss. What a boss he is. Lurker Aspect. Did I just see Lurker Aspect? I want to say I just saw Lurker Aspect finishing, but I don't know. Maybe we'll have to see some Lurkers to be able to tell, but... This is a lot. Oh, there are Lurkers. Okay, that feel better now. Yeah, this is not enough to save this. I guess maybe if there are High Templar coming, and there are, if this High Templar didn't have to use a storm to stay alive to this point, I would feel better about this for G5. But as it stands, that's a lot of Lurkers coming in. The High Templar are just hiding at this stage. The base, did you buy enough time for all the cannons to come up? Is it enough? I mean, are there enough cannons? All right, okay, the Storms, the Great Equalizer, as usual, are gonna save the day. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous play there from G5. The cannons save all of the days. I don't know if burrowing in range of these cannons is a great idea as that Lurker dies. This one's in range 2, and it will get picked off. All right, these 2 in range of the Nexus, though. Gonna try to finish it off here. What is here to defend it? Nothing. There's no green around at all. All right, so the Nexus is probably gonna die. G5, 119 to 127 supply. He's down. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. When's the last time we saw Ultralisks versus Protoss? Trying to figure it out, and I don't know. Did he bring detection? He did. Okay, that's good. Reinforcements are coming in from day 9, though, in the form of a bunch of Zerglings, which have 2 Carapace now. Zealot Ling pretty good against... I was going to say, Zealot Lurker pretty good against... Whatever. You know what I'm talking about there. Jeez. Zealous, making it happen. And they do end up saving the base, if just barely. That Lurker ends up with 6 kills. Pretty effective day for the Lurker. He dead now. Oh, killed his own probe unnecessarily there. And that Lurker dies too. So, alright. Day 9 tries to take down this 5th base of G5. Can't do it. I just now realize both these players have numbers in their names, which... Is that an American thing? I guess In Control doesn't do that. Neither does Artosis. Rhett doesn't do it. No, wait. Rhett's not American. Let's not give non-American players American origins. Let's try to keep that straight, ladies and gents. All right. So Lings and Hydras coming in. I don't think this is enough. Yeah, especially with this happening. Okay, great. Storm. Out of Storm, though. And there are Lurkers here, and that Archon is morphing in the possibly worst place in the entire universe. It's going to die before it finishes. As well it does. He's going to try to finish this off. The cannons must be dealt with first. Oh, these are just probes. G5, maybe don't transfer probes into an active war zone. Okay, thanks, bye. Meanwhile, G5 doing... Remember what worked so well the first time? Remember that big speed lot attack? Yeah, let's do that again. And he does. Loses a base, but is up here trying to do some damage in this top left-hand corner of Day 9's happy place. Ultralisks are here. This Archon trying to hold the line. No, that's not going to happen. Zealots going for the non-guaranteed damage, trying to get the hatchery, but they are going to get it regardless. Guaranteed damage, a phrase that was taught to me by Day 9 back in the day. Great storm drop up here, though. I'm not sure even where that High Templar was to get all them kills. And yeah, enough. Ultralisks gonna do all right versus Zealots with that 5 armor. Got the +1 attack. Working on +2 attack and anabolic synthesis, which is always speed in RTS. Best upgrade. Get speed. Maybe not best, but always good at the very least. 152 to 122 supply in favor of Day 9 now. Losing this base was a huge blow to G5's economy and his chances of winning this game. I've never really seen him have a big, scary Protoss army. Right? Like you see from somebody like Bisu, like you see from somebody like Stork or Mini. They have big, scary Protoss armies. And this just isn't. Where's your detection, friend? Did you seriously come over here? There's an observer. All right, that'll do. That'll do, pig. Like how we just brought those probes to the active war zone again, though, to try to retake this base. Trying to hold it. Day 9 has some thoughts about allowing this base to come up. And the thoughts are no. They are simply no. Man, I don't know if this is enough to hold, but it's pretty good positioning from G5 based on the circumstances. Probably about as good as you could ask here. This is totally Day 9. That is something Day 9 would say in a game is What the tasteless? What? I don't know, says G5. What is you don't knowing? What am I missing here? These Zerglings are kissing, by the way. They're friends. Did somebody go AFK? Maybe there was a lag out. I wonder if there was a lag out. That's what they're talking about, because we don't see those. Day 9 going in for the kill with so many Ultralisks. Archon trying to hold the line. Double Archon trying to hold the line. This is a really bad place to move Ultras into, by the way. And did Tiny chokes with Archons holding? No. However, this base is in trouble. Tasteless left the game. He's not going to get to see the ending. I'm sure he was told later on what happened. But yeah, whatever this base was, third base, I think, is done. No choke there. And at this point, it's 186 to 128 supply. And Day 9 has this game well in hand. Well in hand. Poor G5. I don't think he was ever really able to get in a position to win this game after that third base. Got taken so fast from Day 9. Although, I don't know, remember what I said about the 14-minute mark where it seemed like G5 was okay? And he was. But I just don't think his macro was there. His economy was not there. He had the 3 bases, but he really needed a 4th, and this one was alive for some time, but not enough to really make it worth it. The problem with trying to be lurkers in here are these cannons that exist on the high ground. Oh, these probes. Oh, these probes. They don't even know. Okay! Well, the good news is the Ultralisk is dead. The bad news is about 10 of your probes just got massacred by these lurkers. The bad news is that Day 9 has taken another base on the left side because of course he has. He's a 6-basing Zerg versus what is effectively a, we'll generously call it a 1.5 basing Protoss. Okay, in fairness, this is mined out and this is mined out. So 4 basing Zerg versus a 1.5 basing Protoss. It's not good. Consumes on the way. Mutalisks in the way. Greater Spire coming in. Good way to break a turtling Protoss with cannons is with Guardians. Do you have to is the question. I don't know. That's a lot of Archons, dude. Holy crap. Archon versus Ultra. This might be the most Archon versus Ultra game I've ever seen. The Archons backing themselves into a corner so they can't get surrounded. This might be our thumbnail right here. This is a really good shot of just Archon, mass Archon versus mass Ultralisk. Who will come out on top? The Archon upgrades. Well, our +3 attack, but the Zerg Ultralisks are super upgraded too, and just had the numbers there, plus they had the support of some Hydralisks, which is unfair. And now we're going to just move on in, and I think that's going to be it. Going to call that a going to be it situation. Guardians are morphing up the only source of income that G5 has. The High Templar aren't even really bothering to storm at this stage in the game. Are the Guardians here yet? They're working on it. That production tab says it takes a while. There's 8 of them on the way, because why not? Why not make 8 Guardians? Day 9 is spending his money so efficiently here, too, and he's maxed out. The last desperate storms getting cast down on these Ultralisks, not making a difference in the long run, and then the Guardians show up, and, well, there's no more mining from this base, can tell you that much. Is enough for 2 storms here, though. Look at the splits. Look at the splits on the Guardians. They don't care. You could storm a couple of them. You can kill a couple of them, but they are not clumped up to the point where everybody will die. Like what happens to me in the Brood War campaign when I try to go Guardians against an opponent that has Storm. G5 is getting killed by Hydras, Ultralisks, Guardians today. You never see all 3 of these tech choices from a Zerg, but Day 9 was feeling frisky. G5 is upset about this outcome. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it was an entirely one-sided affair, because again, there was a window. There was a window in which G5 was okay. But it seemed like every situation after that was just in Day 9's favor. He never really got bothered except for this one hatch that died and this one attack. Okay, 2 attacks on this base. Some drones died. Yes, but Day 9 was able to replace those drones so quickly, it didn't even matter. I think G5's APM, his APM is still like 140. What's he doing? How is his APM 140 right now? I guess he's moving this Templar around. What a fun match. I mean, if you're a Zerg fan, it's a fun match. But Protoss, maybe not as much. Good game, well played. Super depressed. Day 9 with a good game. Lazy Gamer with a good game. Day 9 is sad to hear about G5's emotional state. Because Day 9 cares about people. He cares about people. That's why people like him. Anyway, what a fantastic game. Really enjoyed it. I know Protoss fans probably don't enjoy this, but I don't know. Day 9 fans and Zerg fans do. All right, so look how many macro hatches Day 9 has. 2. The answer, 3. The answer is 3. And he got those up pretty early, too. I like it, man. I really like the strategy here. It's like, I went for a quick pool, probably about a 9 pool based on the timing. Got 6 lings out. They didn't do anything at all. Let's expand twice on this map, because the expansions are pretty close and fairly easy to deal with. Let me scout to make sure cannons can't wreck me, because that's one thing that can wreck me, and they didn't. And then just macro. Do some scouting with speed overlords. Get that upgrade for speed. Scout on in. Recognize there are no Corsairs. Bring Mutalisks in and just set G5 back in the worker account immensely. And then from there, it was pretty much do whatever you want, man. Expand a few times up the top left. Ultralisk Cavern, Greater Spire, Hydralisks, Defilers. Never really had to use Defilers in this game, which is not a sign the Protoss was really in it, right? If you can beat a Protoss player without any Dark Swarms or Plagues in 25 minutes, like in a late macro game, it's probably not the Protoss's day, is all I'm going to say about it. But good stuff, man. Great stuff overall. Let's check out that final score. Oh, and hit that like button if you enjoyed the game today. Just a reminder on there. End of the day, 97,000 points for G5, but a 249er out of day 9. Produced 600 Zerg units. Lost 300 of them, but that is a lot remaining if you do the math. Structures raised, 74 by day 9. In fairness, when there's Zerg involved, the numbers are never fair. Never comparable on that one, but yeah, resources are just a shellacking right here. We got 8,000 more gas mined for day 9. We got 16,000 more minerals mined, and by golly, there are 22 more resources spent, which is so many Ultralisks and Guardians and Zerglings and Hydras and stuff. So good effort there by G5. I hope Day 9 talked to him after this. I bet he did. I bet he called up G5 and was like, hey, man, do you want to go over that game? We can talk about some things. Help you win your next one. That's just what kind of guy Day 9 is. He's a good dude. All right, well, that's going to be it from me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.